Kia. Monkey Man, released in 2024 and is directed by Dev Patel, who made his feature-length directorial debut with this movie. And this film, of course, is also starring Dev Patel, Shardul Kopli, Kitobash, Vipin Sharma, Sikander Kerr, Adithi Kalkunte, and Sakir Hussain. And the reason why we're talking about Monkey Man today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a big-time contributor, long-time contributor and supporter of this channel, Dr. Camp. Thank you very much for the recommendation. We're getting towards the end of the big bundle that you sent me at the end of last year. Actually, I think we're finishing up this week, so I look forward to the next recommendations you're going to be sending my way. If anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Our lead character, simply known as Kid in this movie, was once a young boy growing up in a forest village in India and saw his wife be brutally murdered by the local lead law enforcement officer. And ever since then, he has vowed vengeance of one day getting his revenge on said officer and everyone who backs and supports him, which he later finds out goes all the way to the very top of one of the most political and powerful people in all the nation. So it turns out to be a classic revenge tale of a young boy losing the love of his life and his parents, and then vows vengeance on the person in authority and tries to maneuver his way in. First he gets the muscles. First he gets the lean muscles and some fight training behind him after he basically lends his face to all of the boxing people in the underground boxing ring. But then he manages to infiltrate this hotel and restaurant chain to eventually, when he feels that he gets close enough, attempts to murder this guy. Of course it fails, and then he's on the run and he finds himself all the way back to that forest village, and then we get an awesome homemade montage of him training and getting better to where he goes after him again, and he's more of a badass this time. It's a classic revenge tale that, I mean, it doesn't get old. These plot points, these character types, these situations never gets old. It all works. This whole story, this whole formula, it works. That being said, you know, if you're watching this movie looking for something different and unique, you aren't gonna find any of that here. This movie is very formulaic and is very repetitive if you are into these revenge type stories. Again, not to say that this is a terrible film, which it's absolutely not. It's very entertaining, and the fight scenes that we get in here are, again, I can't say that it's innovative because I feel like I've seen this type of choreography and these montages before with films like Old Boy, but it still doesn't take away from the badassness that these fight scenes have. Dev Patel, you can definitely tell, is a huge fan of action scenes. I can say that he's a fan of films like Old Boy and of course the Raid films. Just close-up, in-your-face cinematography that takes you almost to a point of view of your main hero fighting all these people in the kitchen, then going up a couple of stories, and then in the main lobby of the restaurant fighting all those people. You can tell he's a fan, and he does a great job of taking from what has been done before, making it a little bit of his own, but then also showcasing just his love for those previous scenes and those previous movies that he's pulling from. And he's an actor that I've warmed up to over the last several years. I think I was not a fan of him at first just because he was part of Slumdog Millionaire, and that movie won Best Picture the same year that I feel The Dark Knight should have won, or at least have been nominated for Best Picture, and I don't know what that movie was doing in there. But over the last couple of years, I've gone back to watch those and watch a couple of his other performances, and I do enjoy his performances, and I enjoy Slumdog Millionaire. It's much better than what I remember. I was just a huge Batman fan back then, and I was super pissed. And I love it when an actor takes on the role of a director because, in my opinion, actors make the best directors when it comes to getting the best performances and the best story out of your script. Because an actor knows how to do script analysis and character analysis and use the camera to emphasize the feelings of the characters and the moments that they're trying to kind of milk for their characters' situations and their mindsets. Whereas someone who goes into directing and has always been a director may miss a couple of sensibilities or is more focused on the grand picture. I like the actors turn directors. They stay focused on the performances more, which again is not necessarily like the best thing. Sometimes you need to have that technical eye, and not every actor has that, but here I think Dev Patel does a great job. It's one of those movies that I felt was definitely talked about a lot leading up to its release last year, but then after it was released, everyone just kind of forgot about it, and I didn't hear a single peep about this movie after it was released. I remember Jordan Peele was talking about it. Actually, I think he produced part of this film, and it's a solid movie. It's very entertaining, has a great Rotten Tomatoes score, so the critics loved it. It's a solid film, and it's a great directorial debut. Again, I just feel that this is a formula and a movie that we've seen many times before. You just swap out the character names, the location of where these characters are, and you would have any other great substantial revenge film that is out there. I'm gonna give Monkey Man 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
So guys, if you've seen Monkey Man, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you all the next time I'm released next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.